For anyone who studies traditional Chinese medicine, they have a certain way that they view diet and medicine, right? And I kind of discovered it, when I was trying to find my diet. And, you know, when I was experimenting with my diet, you know, I was like, I used to read these guys' stories online, and guys used to say, oh, when I eat starch, I feel lazy. When I eat all this food, feel lazy. And I was reading stories about guys that just ate fruit juice, drank fruit juice all day, drank milk. And I began to try it out, and I said, you know what? I don't feel good doing this. I know eating a lot of food makes me feel sometimes lazy and lethargic, but I feel like I need to do it. I need to eat a lot of nourishing food, and I don't feel like drinking liquid that much, right? And I discovered TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. And traditional Chinese medicine kind of associated wet, damp food with yin energy, and they associated dry, salty food as yang energy, right? So the TCM approach was if you eat too much wet, damp food, like I was eating a lot of ice cream and drinks at the time, the digestive system is not going to function that well. Like when I was doing it at the time, I was feeling it in my spleen, I was feeling it in my stomach. The digestive system is not going to work that well. The body as a system is not going to work as well when you're focused too much on the inside. And they say, if you're eating too much wet and damp food, you're going to have to balance it out with the dry and salty food. And eventually when I read that, I started doing it. I started keeping a balance. I didn't obsess. When I was into the drinks, I was obsessing over there's a whole bunch of nutrients and minerals in orange juice, and there's not that much nutrients and minerals in bread. Want to know how I thought like that? Because that's what some people say online. Go ahead and eat this fruit. It has nutrients and minerals, and bread doesn't. Make sure you don't eat the bread. It doesn't have nutrients and minerals. And I said, you know what? I kind of crave the bread. I kind of crave the potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and eat it. I kind of crave the starch. I'm not going to lie. I kind of crave salting a bunch of starch and eating it. And I realized it was all about balance. And I realized it wasn't about the nutrients and minerals. We get pretty much plenty of nutrients and minerals eating a regular diet. It wasn't necessarily about the nutrients and minerals. It was about keeping a balance. And that's what traditional Chinese medicine teaches. Keeping a balance between yin and yang energy, wet, damp, and dry, salty food so that you can function.